chemical molecule. It's made of sugar, phosphate, nitrogen bases, and the information can be stored in this molecule on the rungs of the ladder. We're not going to get into all those details. You will in high school, but you should know that in the DNA molecule there's information that tells basically how to build us, how to make a complete living organism and how it functions. It's all stored in this tiny molecule. And the DNA is in the chromosomes. We've talked about chromosomes a couple times. A chromosome is like a little packet of information. And they're found in the nucleus of a cell. Sometimes they're in the shape of these X's. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes there's half of an X. But that's a chromosome. And if you are looking at, you guys looked at your cheek cells earlier in the year, and you stained them, and inside each cheek cell you saw the little dark blue, dark purple area. That was the nucleus of your cheek cell. And that nucleus was your DNA. And that DNA has all the instructions to make you. A tiny little microscopic nucleus. All the information's there. And so chromosomes are very important. Chromosomes are the instructions about how your body is built and how it works. Really, if you had just the DNA in one nucleus of one cell in your body, and you're able to read that information, that has everything you need to know to make you in a single nucleus. Where did you get your chromosomes from? Your parents. Okay? These are what's passed on from parents to their offspring. Okay. How many chromosomes are there in a normal human body cell? Yeah?
46.
Yeah. 46 in a normal cell. So all the cells in human are 46 chromosomes. 23 of those chromosomes came from where?
Mom.
Yep. 23 from the father. Everyone gets half their chromosomes from their mother, half from their father. Now, the number of chromosomes in humans, like we said, it's a distinct, specific number. 46 in humans. 23 pairs. But the number is really not very important. It doesn't mean anything, really. There are certain species with only 2 chromosomes. There's some with hundreds and hundreds of chromosomes. And it doesn't tell you anything about how complex or how smart or how big something is. A cat, for example, has 34 chromosomes. How many do you think a goldfish has? 94.
I was going to say that.
You can't predict, really. So just because a goldfish is small and not that bright. So yeah, goldfish have more. All right. Now, one tool that you're going to have to know about is this thing called a karyotype. A karyotype is basically a map or a picture of a person's chromosomes. And so you could use a microscope, you could stain a cell, you can look at the nucleus of that cell and take a picture of it, and you might get something that looks like this. The chromosomes have been stained dark purple. You can see all those X's. Okay. And then what a scientist or a doctor can do is basically cut out each of those chromosomes from the picture and arrange them in a certain way. They arrange them from the longest set of chromosomes to the shortest and make what's called a karyotype. Now, they used to do it actually by cutting out with scissors and pasting them on a paper. Now they do it with computers. But what you see here, this is a human karyotype. It has 23 pairs of chromosomes, 46 total chromosomes are shown here. And when the chromosomes are stained, they get a pattern, this sort of striping pattern. And that's what you see here, 23 chromosomes. Okay, and from these chromosomes, one of each pair, so in this person, whoever's karyotype this was, one of these chromosomes came from their mother and one from their father. I don't know which one, but one of each came from each parent. So 23 from the mother. And you'll notice they're numbered, 1 being the longest chromosome down to 22. But then we get a special, what happened here? We didn't continue the numbering system. Does anybody know anything about these chromosomes? Allie?
They determine what gender.
Yes. They determine the gender. They're called the sex chromosomes, the X and Y chromosomes. Now, I'm surprised this year more students in every single class have known about the sex chromosomes. So is it a movie, a book? Where have you guys learned
Health.
it? Oh, health? Okay. I thought it was maybe a book or something. What? Oh, okay. I thought maybe you guys read it or saw it in a movie or something. Okay. So males, what sex chromosomes do males have? Matt?
X.
They have 2.
X. Y.
That sounds like a guessing voice.
Oh, I was pretty sure.
What is it in a knowing voice? Kristen?
X, Y.
Yeah, it is X, Y. X, Y? That's a guessing voice. Females?
X.
Tommy?
Y.
No, accent. YX.
Oh,
X, Y.
Are you just going to keep saying things until I nod my head or something?
YX, YX, Y.
Holly?
X.
Yes, they have X.
Oh, I said it.
Yeah, you said everything. You said every possible combination. So males get XY, females have XX. Now, if you really think about this, you can figure the answer to this question out. So, which parent actually determines the gender of a child?
The mother.
Okay, well, I heard both.
Oh.
Who knows and can explain why? Daniel?
Your mother does because your father only has the X chromosomes, so that's why your first one's always the X. Or I mean, no, the other way around. The father does because he has both, so it's one or the other.
Yes.
And the mother only has.
Exactly. So Daniel's logic is correct once he corrected himself. So it is the male that determines the gender of the offspring.
Totally right.
Okay. And it makes sense if we look at this. So here we have a cell from what? Female and a male. When this female cell goes through the process of meiosis, who could remind me, what does meiosis do to the chromosomes?
It makes
Raise your hand, please. Matt? Splits them in half. So when a mother produces egg cells, every egg cell, which of these chromosomes is it going to get? X. That's the only sex chromosome a mother can contribute to the egg. So every egg a woman has an X chromosome in it. But in a cell from a male that goes through meiosis, how is that different? Danielle?
X and Y are separated.
Yes, the X and the Y are separate. So some sperm cells end up with an X chromosome. Other sperm cells end up with a Y chromosome. Half of the sperm usually have an X, half have a Y. So, if this sperm cell fertilizes this egg, what is the embryo going to be? Allie?
A girl.
A girl, 2 X chromosomes. If it fertilizes this egg, same thing. That would form a girl. But if it's a Y chromosome sperm that fertilizes the egg, then what do we get? A boy. Now, did I discuss in vitro fertilization back in reproduction?
No.
So I think I did. No, maybe I did. That was the other class. So in vitro fertilization, sometimes if a couple is having trouble conceiving a child, they may have what's called in vitro fertilization, where they take an egg cell from the mother, a sperm cell from the father, and outside of the body, in like a lab, in a medical facility, they fertilize the egg, allow it to start to grow a couple times, divide, and then they take that embryo, they implant it back into the mother. And it grows, and she's pregnant, and she has a baby. But when they do that, nowadays, doctors can separate sperm cells, X sperm from Y sperm, and therefore, what does that mean the parents can do?
Control things.
They can choose, if they want, which type of sperm cell they use to fertilize the egg, and they can basically pick the gender of the child.
Wait, I'm confused though. Like, so would it be the same egg and sperm cell from the same two people?
Yeah, as long as the mother and father both are producing. Sometimes both parents produce normal egg cells and sperm cells, but for some reason the fertilization is never happening. And so then they can take them from the parents and do it outside where things are more controlled. I'll come back to that brain pop in a minute. Yeah. So these karyotypes are often made when a woman is pregnant. If the parents want to be sure that the embryo and the fetus has the proper number of chromosomes, they may do what's called an amniocentesis. They basically use a needle and withdraw a small amount of amniotic fluid, and in that fluid are cells from the fetus. They can look at those cells, make a karyotype, and see if the chromosomes look correct, if they have the right number and the right configuration. Because there are times when an embryo can have the incorrect number of chromosomes. So normal numbers are 46 chromosomes altogether, 23 from the mother, 23 from the father. However, every once in a while, a sperm cell or an egg cell could have an extra chromosome. Okay? If that is the case, okay, then the embryo may end up with an extra chromosome. And so if you look at this karyotype, do you notice the difference between this and another normal karyotype? Hannah?
The chromosome pieces aren't connected.
Well, they aren't usually. These are like single chromosomes, not X's. So that part's okay. And it's okay that they're bent and stuff. That's just how they were when the picture was taken. Danielle?
I get a question.
All right, hold on. Let me get through this first.
I don't
Daniel?
know if this means anything, but the X is way bigger than the Y.
No, it's always like that.
Oh.
Something else. Look carefully at that.
They have little bumps.
Matt?
They have little bumps on them.
No. Those are normal. Tristan?
Number, like, I think it's 21. It's like 3.
Yeah. We have an extra chromosome here at number 21. So we have 2 of each size, but then at 21 we have 3 of them. And this is what causes what we call Down syndrome. It's an extra 21st chromosome. So having the correct number of chromosomes is important because they control how our bodies are built, how our bodies function. Having that extra presents some problems in physical and cognitive development. Okay? And those things that we associate with Down syndrome are a result of having that one extra chromosome. But there's other chromosome disorders. Down syndrome is by far the most common, but there's something called trisomy 13, when a person has an extra 13th chromosome. There's Klinefelter syndrome or Turner syndrome. These are other extra chromosome disorders. So there are others, but Down syndrome is the most common.
What if someone has like an extra chromosome and like 2 different?
So yeah, this is a common question. So the proper number of chromosomes is important. And so sometimes an embryo can grow and develop with 1 extra chromosome. But if it gets beyond 1 extra chromosome, if there's 2 or 3 or 10 extra chromosomes, the embryo won't grow and develop. So it never implants and a woman never gets pregnant with those many extra chromosomes. So it just doesn't happen. Danielle?
So how many cells would a person have if they had Down syndrome?
They would not cell, but 1 extra chromosome in every cell of their body. So they would have, instead of 46, every cell of their body has 47 chromosomes.
Okay.
All right, so if we look at a couple karyotypes here. This one now is showing the chromosomes as X's. It just depends when the karyotype's made. So a karyotype shows basically a picture of a person's chromosomes. So is this person on this side? Is this a male or a female? Raise your hand if you can answer this. All right, I keep seeing Hannah, Daniel, Matt. All right, Ava? Yeah, how did you know that? Yeah, but it doesn't say XX, right? Exactly, it looks like an X. That's why it's called the X chromosome, and they're both the same. So yeah, because there's two X chromosomes. Good. Okay, here we have another karyotype. Is this karyotype of a male or a female? Raise your hand, please. Danielle?
Male.
Yeah, how did you know that?
Because the last one was a female. That's what the
Okay.
last one.
Yeah, and if you look, the sex chromosomes are not the same. They're two different ones. The Y chromosome is actually a really, really small chromosome that actually doesn't carry very much genetic information at all. The X chromosome is much bigger. The Y is a tiny little thing. That's the Y chromosome. Daniel?
This person has an extra.
Okay, so hold on. All right, now they also have a genetic abnormality, a chromosome disorder, which is what? All right, raise your hand, please. Kristen?
Down syndrome,
Yep, and you know this why?
because he has an extra chromosome.
Yeah, because he has an extra chromosome, an extra 21st. So it has, for Down syndrome, it has to be the 21st chromosome that has the extra one.
I found a difference. The female, I found out, she has two of the lines
Where is that?
on 23. On the
Oh, here?
Yeah, and then the male, it has 1.5.
Oh, yeah, for the sex chromosome?
Yes.
Yeah, the Y chromosome is that little one. It's the X are both the same shape. Yeah. All right.